A very good evening. From stories around the world to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. I'm Vidishni Sadis Kumar.
And I'm Tilina Udayaratna. First off, we take a look at tonight's top stories.
10 tons of essential medicine donated by the Indian government reaches the island. The European Union commends the measures taken by Sri Lanka to control Covid-19. A 1.5 million rupees insurance coverage for government employees confronting the coronavirus. Curfew in all parts of the island except for in 6 districts will be lifted at 6 a.m. tomorrow. A request has been made to restrict New Year rituals to family members.
In your local stories this evening, India has donated to Sri Lanka a 10-ton consignment of essential medicines in view of the Covid-19 crisis upon request of the Sri Lankan government. A statement issued by the High Commission of India said the consignment was sent to Colombo today in a special aircraft of the Indian government. An Indian High Commission communique adds that the contribution is yet another manifestation of India's unwavering commitment to stand with Sri Lanka in difficult times. It further points out that despite its own domestic challenges and commitment, India has always believed in sharing its resources and expertise with its friends and partners. In a post on Twitter, Sri Lankan President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has thanked Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the Indian government and the people for the kind and generous support and has extended wholehearted gratitude for the donation at the most appropriate time. The number of those infected by the coronavirus disease has increased to 189 persons. 3 more suspected persons have been confirmed as corona patients today. Meanwhile, 42 persons have been fully recovered from the disease. In addition to Director General of the Health Services, Dr. Anil Jasinger, said that they were able to detect these 3 persons due to measures taken to enhance investigations under active testing. 2 relatives of the gem businessman, Covid-19 patient, as well as an inmate at the Kandakadu Quarantine Center have been confirmed as corona-infected patient. He further said that due to the untiring efforts of the Sri Lanka government, the Health Ministry and the security forces, it has been possible to control Covid-19 in Sri Lanka.
දිනෙන් දින මේ තත්ත්වය අත් වශයෙන්ම හේතු වෙලා තියෙනවා ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ මේ කොවිඩ් තත්ත්වය මේ දක්වා පාලනය වීමට. එසේ නොවන්නට මේ අවස්ථාව වන විට විශාල රෝගීන් සංඛ්‍යාවක් ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ කොවිඩ් රෝගීන් හැටියට සටහන් වන්නට තිබුණා.
In addition to those who left the hospitals, 140 persons are still undergoing hospital treatment. They are undergoing treatment at the IDH Angoda, Valikanda Base Hospital and the Colombo East Base Hospital in Mullairiyawa. So far, 7 persons have died from Covid-19 disease. Health tests are being conducted regarding a further 228 suspected persons. The highest number of patients has been reported from the districts of Colombo, Puttalam, Kalutara and Gampaha. The highest number of corona patients, numbering 21, was reported on the 31st of last month. PCR testing to identify coronavirus infected patients has commenced at the Ratnapura Teaching Hospital yesterday. The relevant machine for testing has been temporarily handed over by the medical faculty of the Sabaragama University. The relevant equipment needed for the functioning of the PCR testing machine have been procured through contributions of philanthropists in Ratnapura. The machine is able to test 4 persons in a single instant. It has been confirmed that a female employee engaged in cleaning duties at the Katanayak airport was afflicted with the corona disease. She has been subjected to a 21-day self-quarantine along with those who had made contacts with her and those who provided her transportation facilities. They were residents of Mirigama, Pallevala, Veragoda, Pasyala and Radhavadun. Meanwhile, 16 persons employed in the canteen of the airport who had contacts with the relevant woman have also been subjected to self-quarantine. Our correspondent says that a house in Miriswata Gampa has been placed under quarantine in this connection. Two female French youth have also been quarantined in a hotel in Anuradhapura town. They have arrived in the island on the 5th of last month and later on toured in Anuradhapura and Jaffna districts. The owner of the hotel has been warned for not informing the health divisions regarding lodgings of the two French nationals. The hotel owner is also to be quarantined. Two more corona-infected persons have been detected from Ratmalyaya and Palavia Al-Qasim in Puttalam. Quarantine measures have been taken to self-quarantine of persons living in nearly 20 houses in these areas following the detection. An air-conditioned ward complex is being constructed in the Tangol Base Hospital for treatment of corona patients. A 20-room, two-storied building in the Tangol Old Prison is being used in this connection.
COVID-19 news. More than 18,000 persons were reported to have been arrested on charges of violating the curfew. The curfew in all other than 6 districts is scheduled to be lifted at 6 a.m. tomorrow and be reimposed at 4 p.m. on the same day. According to the latest communique on curfew issued by the Presidential Media Division, curfew in the districts of Colombo, Gampaha, Kalutara, Puttalam, Kandy and Jaffna, identified as high-risk zones, will continue until further notice. In other districts, curfew will be withdrawn at 6 a.m. but reinforced at 4 p.m. tomorrow. In these districts, the curfew will be once again temporarily removed at 6 a.m. on the 14th of April and reimposed at 4 p.m. on the same day. The government says that measures including the imposition of curfew have been taken in the interest of the general public and requests them to bear the difficulties with understanding and responsibility. It also reiterates to limit New Year rituals only within the family. Transportation in between districts have been fully prohibited other than for essential services. Steps have been taken to implement the law sternly against those who misuse methodologies to maintain essential services in an efficient manner. The government has made all arrangements to continuously supply essential food items and other commodities to the homes during curfew. Permission is granted for persons to engage in agriculture and activities in tea small holdings and export crop productions in any district in the island. The isolated areas declared in the Colombo, Kalutara and Kandy districts will continue to remain as isolated zones. It is completely banned for anybody to either enter or leave such villages. More than 18,000 persons have been arrested on charges of breaching the curfew from 6 p.m. on the 20th of last month till 12 noon today. During this period, 4,667 vehicles have also been taken into police custody. It has also been reported that 2,098 persons have been violating the curfew between 6 a.m. yesterday and 12 noon today were arrested by the police within this time. 676 vehicles have also been taken into police custody during this period. In an analysis of curfew violations in the past 10 days, it has been found out that 1,093 curfew violators were arrested on the 31st of last month. The police say that on an average, more than 1,000 persons were in fact arrested each day starting from the 1st of this month. Measures have been intensified to arrest those who break the curfew in areas identified as high-risk zones. Securing operations are being carried out strenuously in other areas as well. The Narammala police station has taken into custody 12 persons engaged in an illicit liquor racket along with the equipment used in this connection during the curfew hours.
ඒ වගේම ගම්පහ දිස්ත්‍රික්ක ආශ්‍රිතව මෙම අත්අඩංගුවට ගන්නා ලද අයගෙන් වැඩි ප්‍රමාණයක් සිටින බවට වාර්තා වී තිබෙනවා අපගේ දත්ත අනුව.
DIG Ajit Rohana said that it is apparent that some groups were apt in disregarding the curfew. Most of the curfew violators are from Anuradhapura, Chilau, Polonnaruwa and Gampaha. The DIG said that the majority of people obey the curfew and maintain social distance. Laws will in fact be implemented sternly against curfew breakers.
දෙන ලද අවවාද පිළිගනිමින් ඇඳිරි නීතියට ගරු කරමින් සමාජ දුරස්ථභාවය තබා ගනිමින් කටයුතු කිරීම ඒ සියලු දෙනාට අපි ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා.
Our correspondents say that large groups have converged in on the Kandy town, declared as a high-risk area even today. Meanwhile, Governor Attorney at Law Lalit Yugamage says that a special operational chamber has been established in the central province to enlighten the general public on curfew regulations. The police have taken into custody liquor prepared to be sold along with a suspect in a raid carried out on a house in Pansalgodella, Hinguraggoda on a tip-off. The Ambagasdowa police station has also arrested 2 persons engaged in brewing, violating the curfew. Excise officials in the southern province have detected 4 illegal liquor distilleries and arrested several suspects. The Kegol Corruption Control Unit has arrested a couple engaged in distributing narcotics in the Kegol town. The Dambulla police has taken measures to arrest a pregnant woman who was travelling to various places in lorries in day and night time, violating the curfew. The woman was safely dispatched to the Dambulla hospital in an ambulance. The Badulla police is on the lookout for a group which conducted a liquor party at the Soroboravava Mahiangana during the curfew hours. The Criminal Investigation Department has arrested 2 persons who disseminated false information over social websites. In the meantime, the validity period of curfew permits issued on essential services till the 10th has been extended till the 30th of this month. The police headquarters say that employees of state and private sectors who have been permitted to use their employment identity cards as curfew permits will also be entitled to use them till the 30th of this month. Accordingly, employees engaged in essential services in the sectors ports, shipping lines, immigration and emigration, health, petroleum, telecommunications, electricity and water supply, agriculture, Ceylon Transport Board, railway service, treasury, central bank, as well as private and state banks, as well as media institutions are entitled to use their job identity cards as curfew permits.
Meanwhile, the European Union praises the manner the local health authorities and heads of the government sector acting to control the spread of coronavirus in the country. Ambassadors representing the European Union have made this special commendation participating in a meeting of the Presidential Special Task Force on Essential Services. Head of the task force, Basil Rajapaksa, has presided over the meeting today. At the meeting, attention has also been focused on how Sri Lanka and the European Union should collaborate for the enhancement of the health and economic sectors in the country. The EU envoys have also pointed out that the government and other institutions have extended commendable cooperation in sending back foreign tourists in the country to their countries safely. German Ambassador Jon Rode, Netherlands Ambassador Tanya Gonrip, French Ambassador Eric Lavato, Italian Ambassador Rita Manella, Romanian Ambassador Victor Cugia, Swiss Ambassador Hans-Peter Mock, Norwegian Ambassador Trine Excadel and others have participated in the meeting.
Well, the balance of the Covid-19 Healthcare and Social Security Fund has exceeded 517 million rupees by today. The President's office says that the fund has received further contributions amounting to 97 million rupees today. The Attanagalla Rajamahawihara and Unilever Sri Lanka Limited have contributed 10 million rupees to Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. The Postgraduate Institute of Management has presented 5 million rupees and the Buddhist Cultural Centre 2 million rupees. The Malala Sekara Foundation has also donated 3 million rupees. In addition, Minister Chamal Rajapaksa has handed over 29.5 million rupees provided through the allocations of the institutions under his ministry to the Covid-19 Healthcare and Social Security Fund. Minister Janaka Bandara Tennakon has presented 2.8 million rupees provided by the Registrar General's Department. Minister S.M. Chandrasena has contributed his salary for the month of April to the fund. All the donations will be credited to the special account opened under the number 85737373 at the corporate branch of the Bank of Ceylon. Locals as well as foreign donors have made their contributions to this fund. Donations to COVID-19's Healthcare and Social Security Fund have been exempted from taxes and foreign exchange regulations. Deposits can be made through cheques or telegraphic transfers. Further details can be obtained from the Director General Administration of the Presidential Secretariat, KB Egodavela, through the telephone number 011 2354 354.
Measures are underway to extend a 1.5 million rupee Sri Lanka insurance coverage to state employees engaged in operations against the COVID-19 pandemic, and the coverage is known as Viru Abhiman Rakshanavarana. Accordingly, members of families of government employees are being accorded an insurance compensation up to 1.5 million rupees in the event of loss of life of a government employee engaged in the operation against the epidemic. The employees covered under the scheme include health staff, physicians, nurses, assistants, health ministry officials, drivers, mining employees, public health inspectors and zonal health officials. The other officials entitled to receive benefits include officials of the three armed forces, the Sri Lanka Police, the Civil Defence Task Force, field officials of Divisional Secretariat Division, and employees in District Secretariat and Postal Department. This is the first and only insurance coverage extended free of charge for government servants. Chairman of Sri Lanka Insurance, Jagat Valawata, said that the Viru Abhiman Rakshanavarana has been introduced in new free of charge compensate any of these employees either die or disabled due to corona-related activity. The payments are being made on behalf of the infected persons even without registration under the insurance corporation. The chairman further said insurance programs of state media institutions are already being covered by the Sri Lanka Insurance. He further said that these media personnel would be able to easily receive benefits of this insurance scheme.
The Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation has taken measures to telecast a series of special education programs on behalf of the children of the nation in the face of the corona pandemic. The channels Eye and Netra are to be used in this connection. Several institutions, including the Ministry of Education, will be in charge of the program. All educational institutions, including schools and universities, have been closed down with the onslaught of the coronavirus disease. The government has focused special attention on the utilization of 2 channels of the SLRC to enhance the knowledge of students on school curriculum. Minister of Information and Communication Technology, Higher Education Technology and Innovation, Dr. Bandula Gunawardena, has presented the relevant paper to the Cabinet. Accordingly, a special series of educational programs are scheduled to be telecast for school and university students, as well as those following vocational courses from the 20th of this month. The National Education Institute will prepare the necessary courses. Ministers Bandula Gunawardena and Dalasalaha Peruma signed the relevant agreement at the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation today. Secretary to the Ministry of Information and Media, Chulananda Pereira, Secretary to the Ministry of Education, NHM Chitrananda, Secretary to the Ministry of Higher Education, Technology and Innovation, Anura Disanayaka, Secretary to the Ministry of Skills Development, Employment and Labour Relations, DMS Abe Gunawardena, Chairman of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, Dr. Nihal Jayatilaka, and Director General Ajit Nargala also signed the agreement.
මම හිතනවා මේක ශ්‍රී ලංකීය අධ්‍යාපනයේ විතරක් නෙමෙයි ශ්‍රී ලංකීය sannivedana තාක්ෂණය. ඒ වගේට ශ්‍රී ලංකීය අධ්‍යාපනයේ
Rajya Nakat Committee or the State Committee on Auspicious Times have devised auspicious rituals for the upcoming Sinhala New Year. The Ministry of Culture and Religious Affairs requests the general public to engage in Alut Awrudu traditions with family members without leaving homes by taking into consideration of the current situation. A request has also been made not to organize festivals in connection with the New Year. Bathing in the old year falls on the 11th of this month. The sheet of auspicious events says it is appropriate to commemorate the deities after bathing in water mixed with banyan tree leaves. The new year falls on the auspicious time of 8:23 p.m. on Monday, the 13th of April. The Punya Kalya, or the time to engage in meritorious activities, commences at 1:59 p.m. on the 13th and lasts till 2:47 a.m. on the 14th. According to the Nakat Sea Tour, it is appropriate to partake meals prior to 1:59 a.m. on the 13th and to engage in religious observances after withdrawal from all routine work. The auspicious time for cooking meals falls on 10:05 p.m. on April 13th. The sheet of auspicious events also reminds it is more suitable to prepare milk rice and sweetmeats mixed with sesame seeds upon preparation of a hearth looking on the eastern directions, dressed in white clothing. The auspicious time for engaging in work, transactions and partaking of meals is at 10:43 p.m. on the 13th. It is appropriate to have meals dressed in white attire looking at the eastern direction. The auspicious time for anointing falls on 9:17 am on the 15th of this month, that those who engage in this ritual should dress in green-colored clothing and bathe using nanu mixed with juice of komba leaves looking at the eastern direction. The auspicious time for leaving for employment is at 7:56 am on Friday, the 17th of April. Tree planting Nakata falls on 11:38 am on the 19th of April. This ritual should be performed dressed in copper-colored clothing looking at the southern direction. The Nakat Sito further points out that it is appropriate to look at the new moon in the new year on Sunday, the 26th of April.
Managers of major economic centres say that the new methodology introduced by the government to distribute local food items, including vegetables and fruits on divisional secretariat divisional levels, is being carried out successfully and is implemented. Under this program, food items are being distributed centering the special economic centres in Dambulla, Tambuttegama, Nuwareliya, Kappetipula and Ambilipitiya. The people are being permitted to sell vegetables only after the provision of vegetable stocks under the divisional secretariat's divisional level. The programs enable to distribute vegetables to any divisional secretariat division office within a time frame of 12 hours due to the new methodology. The people are able to purchase fresh fruits and vegetables at fair prices without the intervention of middlemen. Our correspondent says that vegetable stocks were distributed successfully according to the new method at the Dambulla Economic Centre today.
A sum of 3,057 million rupees has been spent by this morning as allowances for adults, disabled persons and kidney patients. The program is being implemented under the Ministry of Health and Indigenous Medicine, Women's and Children's Services and Social Security. An adult allowance amounting to 2,441 million rupees has been paid on 488,243 persons in 25 districts of the country. 162 million rupees have also been distributed among 32,417 kidney patients. 90,870 persons with disabilities have also received 454 million rupees. The ministry says 83% of the relevant beneficiaries have already received their allowances. Minister Pavitra Vanyarachi said that the Presidential Task Force has taken measures to increase allowance to 5,000 rupees, 83% of those in the waiting list by last evening. The government has also taken measures to provide facilities to destitute low-income families who have gone back to their villages leaving employment. District Secretary M.R. Ratnayaka says that the program to hand over allowances to some of the adult, disabled and kidney patient recipients in the Kurunegala districts has been carried out extremely successful. The Agriculture and Agrarian Insurance Board says that payment of 5,000 rupee pension for farmers has already been completed by 95% distribution of pensions to farmers in Kottawa, Pannipitiya and Mattegoda who were unable to be paid earlier due to the inability of reopen post offices due to technical reasons has also taken place today. Director of the Medical Supplies Division, Dr. Kapila Vikramanayaka says that preparations have been made to supply necessary medicines and equipment continuously to all hospitals in the island under any circumstances. Innovations Unit of the Navy has been successful in manufacturing an automated equipment to carry essential treatment to coronavirus infected persons. The instrument was handed over to the Naval Fernando Hospital today. The new machine enables the medical staff to inspect and talk with patients without coming closer to them. Meanwhile, the Sri Lanka Garment Exporters Association has commenced a program today to provide 2 million face masks to the government free of charge. Accordingly, 2,000 face masks were symbolically handed over to the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation today. Chairman of the corporation, Dr. Nihal Jayatilaka, and Director General Ajit Naragala have received the consignment. 20 local manufacturers are charged of production and the necessary raw materials are being provided by the TJ Lanka Institute. The project has been organized by the Vietmaga organization. President of the Sri Lanka Garment Exporters Association, Rohan Lakhani, former President Felix. The project has been organized by the Vietmaga Association. President of the Sri Lanka Garment Exporters, Rohan Lakhani, former President Felix Fernando, Chief Executive Officer of the Eskimo Fashion Company, Indika Lianhewage, and several others have also participated in the occasion. A 15 million rupee cheque was handed over to the owners of Multi-Day Craft for the fish produce sold to the Ceylon Fisheries Corporation. The event has taken place at the Ministry of Fisheries in the presence of the Secretary to the Ministry, R.M.I. Ratnayaka. Meanwhile, on the weather, a warning has been issued by the Department of Meteorology regarding rising of sea waves and flowing of sea water into the land. The Met Department communique points out that sea waves could rise as much as 2 to 2.5 meters in the coastal areas from Puttalam to Colombo and also from Galle to Pothuil via Hambantota. It adds that sea areas would turn rough from time to time and there is possibility of seawater reaching the land. The weather report further says that this situation may prevail until 2 o'clock at dawn and cautions the fishing and naval communities to remain vigilant. The department also says that severe hot weather condition could also prevail in the northwestern and western provinces and also in the districts of Anuradhapura, Mana, Vaunia, Mullaitivu and Munragala tomorrow.
The funeral of veteran musician Jayantha Ratnayaka took place at the Talahena General Cemetery today. The late artist is the eldest son of veteran musician Victor Ratnayaka. He was 51 years old at the time of passing away. Jayantha Ratnayaka passed away on the 6th of this month while undergoing treatment at a hospital. And that's a wrap on tonight's Rupavahini English News. Make sure you stay safe, stay indoors and look after yourself. On that note, join us once again tomorrow. Until then, thanks for watching. Good night.
Good night.